Saguaro National Park. We got here bright and early. It's like 70 degrees, it's perfect. And we're gonna do a ranger guided walk about cactus this morning. But we're doing the loop drive first. And it's 8 miles, and they said it takes about 45 minutes. What did we just do?
Took the top off.
Yep. Now the Jeep has no top. We're gonna go for a cruise. Ooh, that looks neat. The sky. We are loving having the top down.
Going topless.
Going topless. Look at that giant. It's huge. Biggest one we've seen yet. And the sun is starting to come out from behind the clouds. I feel it heating up a little. We're on the Desert Ecology Trail, and it's wheelchair accessible. And it's early in the morning. I don't know, 8:30. Temperature is still good. There's lots of signs that tell you about the different plant and animal life. Nice views.
Oh, screech owls, they're the little ones.
Just filming you with the cacti going by.
Cool.
There's a whole Here's the Rincon, I'm not sure I'm saying that right, Visitor Center. We're doing a ranger guided walk at 9:30. The flag is half staff because a park ranger at Voyagers was killed trying to rescue people from an island. There's the cactus. Look out for rattlesnakes. Well,
Another tree.
ah. This looks like the one we're going to be doing. Let's see, today the high 97, low 73. And we'll probably do this one too. There's a visitor center hours. This is inside the visitor center. Nice window.
That would be blue.
I don't know why we would have it here, we're not in the east.
They have a nice interpretive area in the visitor center and cool views. We're gonna come back here after our walk with the ranger and take a look at stuff.
Wow. It produces leaves whenever our humidity is at 36% or greater. And then it sheds it once it drops below 36%.
Wow.
So the leaves will come out 4, 5, 6 times a year.
We saw them at Carlsbad, and I said they looked like
Crown
green
of thorns.
pipe cleaners because
Yeah.
they were
Oh,
like,
yeah.
kinda just.
And then on the tops in March, they have beautiful red flowers.
Oh,
So
nice.
is that like March when all of these flower? Like the.
Majority, so all of the wildflowers come out in March. And the ocotillos, the saguaros are in May, the
Okay.
prickly pears are in June.
Okay.
The choyas, they expand throughout the year, and the reason is everything has to share the pollinators. So everything has its own time period of when it's
Cool.
blooming. The barrel cactus just finished blooming. So,
Got
yeah.
it.
So everything
Wow.
has its period of time when it blooms. But yeah, I just wanted to show you this.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And
A saguaro flower.
this one's around 175 years old.
Oh,
It's got lots of flowers coming out.
175 years old.
175 to 200,
Saguaro
we're not
flower.
sure. You can't actually date them.
No. Just have an idea.
You go off of stories, oral stories, and oh, there's a bee that just went in there.
Yeah, I saw that.
And then photographic evidence. Now, did I share with you that we have had 6 continuous studies going on in the park since 1934?
No.
And we have a census where we go around and we look at and measure the saguaros. And so this one's been on the census since 1934.
Wow.
And it was big then. So let's see, what do I want to cover first on this guy? I can't believe there's flowers.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's super late. You said
Yes.
May, right?
Well, last year we had, was it last year or the year before? We had a bunch in November. All of them in town flowered, but all of the pollinators had migrated out. So it was a complete waste of energy.
Well, they found that one flower.
Yeah. So, here's a cookie. This is a cross section of an arm.
Ah.
It is dehydrated and all the spines are
Oh,
gone.
it looks like teeth.
So the internal structure is kind of the yellowish grayish goo, and this is where the moisture is. It's acidic, not good for mammals. It will kill you. Not right away. It'll be miserable death.
Oh, like a poisoning?
It's just, it dehydrates you.
Oh.
And then your intestinal lining gets so irritated that you can't absorb any nutrients.
Oh.
And so you die of dehydration and malnutrition.
Okay.
But knock yourself out. These are the ribs. So the ribs are the internal structure. Let's see, do I have a rib? No, we'll get to see ribs. Two cacti from here. Here's another layer of the yellowish grayish goo. And then you have the epidermis, and this is the green skin. And these are called areoles. And each one of the areoles is where the spines are. The spines are a modified leaf. There's 8 to 12 in each one of them.
8 to 12 spines in each of the areoles.
Yeah, so you can kind of see.
Wow. Yeah. Oh my goodness.
And even in sections where it doesn't look like there's spines, they are there.
Yeah. Wow.
Cool.
Can I touch this dented area? This won't have a spine.
Correct.
Okay. Wow. That feels like a tree.
So what is a tree?
What is a tree? I guess I would say a tree grows from the ground, it has roots, and it has leaves that it photosynthesizes through.
Yeah, that's good. So it's not an actual taxonomy. There isn't a taxonomy for tree.
Yeah.
It's just kind of a general colloquial term,
Yeah,
I guess.
right.
Because it's not really a scientific tree.
Yeah.
But it's something that grows greater than 15 feet in height, photosynthesizes, provides a habitat, and yeah, that's about it.
Yeah.
So technically,
Wow.
it can be argued that saguaros are trees.
Yeah. It's a desert tree.
What's the definition of a cactus?
Oh, well, see, that's where it
Good
gets
one,
sticky.
Amy. Get sticky.
It gets sticky because
my
they still photosynthesize, but they have modified leaves. Spines are modified leaves usually, with the exception of the barrel cactus. And they have an internal, because trees usually have sap,
Yeah.
and cacti usually have a goo, a moisture.
And does the goo does it travel like sap?
It's just there. It's just moisture throughout the entire
Yeah.
thing.
You know, in old westerns, right, you hear them people getting water out of cactuses. That's just a myth.
Yeah, that's a myth. You can't tap this. Now you can cut it down, and you could suck on that goo, but it'd kill you in 3 weeks. So,
Right.
knock
Doesn't
yourself
sound
out.
like a good idea.
Native saguaros do have a taproot that go down about 6 feet.
Huh.
They don't need that to survive. They can be transplanted. Between 6 foot and 12 foot is when they're allowed to be transplanted. You have to get a permit from the state. But there's only a 30% success rate. Most native saguaros will have a foot, where the root will actually grow from out above the surface to steady it from the wind. Most of the roots on this are at 6 inches below the surface, and they go out in a kind of a latticed pattern, in a radial fashion, goes out as far as it is tall.
Wow.
So, and
Wow.
then what it does is that it stabilizes it when the winds come, because we get great windstorms. And it's fun to watch them sway in the desert.
Oh, wow.
Now, if the soil around it
neat.
gets compacted from a building, a road, something like that, and the wind comes along, it can snap those roots because it's not able to move with the soil. Or if we've had a lot of rain and the soil is saturated, there's nothing for it to hang on to. Or if it gets exceptionally dry, there's nothing to hang on to. There's a lot of things that will kill a saguaro. These are the blossoms
Oh,
from
yeah.
last season.
Yeah.
I'm not going to pick them up because they'll have thorns on them.
Oh, yeah.
where the arm goes to the body, it fails. And so the weight of the arm pulls it down. So we think most of this happened during the 1966 freeze.
Wow.
And then it'll grow around. So you can see how saguaros grow from the inside out. So this is all new growth here. It's not soft. It looks soft. It's not soft. But yeah, it's just the way it grows. And see, there's a new arm coming right there. That's called a nib.
Yeah.
Goes nibs, nubs, and then arms.
So, okay, nubs are bigger than nibs.
That's
awesome.
And this one
butterfly.
looks like it's going to cristate. So it's a growth mutation. Happens about 1 in 33,000. Where instead of growing out as one center, it'll grow out into a fan shape.
Oh.
Oh yeah, I saw a picture of one of those somewhere.
So that's called cristation. We think this one's, again, 175 to 200 years old.
Do you guys name them? Like, do they have people names?
People can.
Yeah.
I don't.
No, I wasn't sure if you like.
There's a million of them. Rats, javelinas, coyotes, people, turtles. Sorry, tortoises. Yeah, I think they're fascinating.
Wow. How many tortoises? Do you
Yeah.
know? So you don't.
Arm fell off this saguaro.
And so this is that yellowish grayish goo.
Oh. Okay.
Oh. Yeah.
I haven't had anything jump out at me in a while.
Just as you were saying, you never see snakes.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
That is a that cactus down there is a hedgehog cactus.
Oh, I saw.
Part of the prickly pear
yeah.
family. Not prickly pear, pincushion family.
This one is 220 years old, pretty
Okay,
much its
tangled up in
maximal
those.
lifespan.
If you Google cyclists in cholla,
This is the Riparian Overlook. Look at all these cactus. So many.
Right, back over there, where we came from, you can just kind of glance over the hill, the major city of Tucson. And then if you look kind of further past that, all the way to the other side where there's that kind of blinking red light happening, those are the Tucson Mountains, and that over there is Saguaro National Park, believe it or not. So Saguaro National Park is divided into 2 different districts. Has anybody been to the west side? That's why you can usually really only find them at night.
Will they generally move out of the way of like your foot, or are they?
Generally. But not the most fast. I could probably stomp on that and kill it. I won't because that's sad.
And
But
the scorpion.
yeah, if I like caused a bunch of noise near it, it would probably like scurry.
Here's a scorpion at night under a black light. I just caught him off. "6:45. We're at the Douglas Spring Trailhead, and we're gonna hike the Garwood Trail to the Carrillo Trail to the Wildhorse Trail for about a little over a 4-mile loop. And we started out at 6:45. Here we are. We're gonna take Garwood to the dam, to the Carrillo Trail, and back up the Wildhorse. The park ranger recommended it, and it's 65 degrees right now. And we'll have these keeping us company the whole way. Here's a saguaro with an arm that's droopy. And we learned when they're droopy like that, it means there was a freeze or a really cold spell where the structure of the cactus couldn't support the arm anymore. And so it drooped down, but kept growing overall. Must have gotten cold here. It is a little bit of a low spot. This is purple. Yep. And we just saw this huge cricket, maybe. Look at that thing, it's giant. Eating bugs. There's a roadrunner over there. The sun is just getting ready to poke over that mountain and heat us up. The sunlight's just coming over and hitting the first cactuses at sunrise. That's cool. You got them all off?
Mostly.
First, Amy got quilled. Sunrise.
Yeah.
An ant nest? Oh yeah. They're like, the sun's out, we're going back. We got here at the perfect time. Look at the sun just hitting these cactuses. So cool.
Christmas choyu.
Oh yeah. Christmas choyu, Amy says. We learned it yesterday. Here's a saguaro with a bunch of flowers, and the bees are going in them.
They only last 18 hours and bats pollinate them at night.
Yep. So they close during the day.
No, they only last 18 hours.
Oh, and they fall off.
Yeah.
Wow. We are amongst the giants here.
That one's like, well, my arms didn't work out, so I'm just gonna keep getting taller.
Yeah. When you're hiking, one important thing to do is to turn around because you get a view like this. There's a lot of bird noise right now, and we just passed some people who live here, and they said they've never seen this much bird activity, and they think a predator is around scaring the birds up. Which I bet something's looking for breakfast. This we learned yesterday is some type of special cactus formation. Happens in 1 in 30,000 cactuses where they get this mutation at the top. So this one is special. Looks cool. It looks kind of like a Vegas statue. We climbed up to this top of the ridge and there's just a cactus forest here with the mountains in the background and the rising sun over here, and it's still quite nice out, not too hot, and we're seeing lots of wildlife, lots of birds. Amy thought she saw a ringtail cat. Quail. Oh, and quail. Roadrunner. And a roadrunner. And some giant beetles. And maybe crickets. We just had someone run by us, and it's starting to get pretty hot. We're starting to get sweaty. But desert folks are probably adapted, right?
Yeah.
Just like if they came to Maine, they'd be freezing and we'd be in shorts, or at least you would be.
Yep.
This cactus right here is the hugging cactus. Just go right in its arms and it gives you a nice hug. And you respond by ouch, 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 ouch. And it has a flower on the top. They say most of the cactuses flower in May and June. We're here in mid-October. Here's the Garwood Dam. Not really impressive, but, and there's no water. We just climbed up 2 of these little nubs. I think they said it was 300 feet elevation gain. Not bad. The view up here is good. What do you think, Amy?
It's good. I'm sweating.
Now we're on the Wildhorse Trail, 2.3 miles back to the car, and we went up an elevation on the last trail we were on. I forget what was the last trail name?
Carrillo?
Carrillo? Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. We went up a little elevation on the Carrillo Trail, and then came down and turned left on Wildhorse. And it's 2.3 miles back. These are called barrel cactuses because they look like a barrel. Or what's the other name, Amy? Fish hook. And they lean towards the compass. And because they lean towards the sun, which is over there. And this one has a flower. So pretty. The top looks like little pineapples. We just saw that roadrunner. There he goes. He's cute.
Yeah.
We made it back. And we did the Garwood Trail from the Douglas Spring Trailhead all the way down to the dam. Then we took the Carrillo, and then we took the Wildhorse back up. Then we took this short little 0.5 jaunt over back to Garwood. And there's no sign that tells you to turn left off the Garwood Trail to get back to the Douglas Spring Trailhead. But we did see a little path and took it and got back, which is good because we started like 6:45 and it's about 10:15 and it's getting hot. So we're happy to be done. And here's the trailhead. I think we're gonna go to Rudy's Barbecue next and then to the other side of the park. We drove over to the other side of Tucson to come to the western part of Saguaro National Park, and we're at the Red Hills Visitor Center, and there's a beautiful view of the valley and the mountains here on the drive in. And we haven't been in the visitor center yet, but here it is. It is 12:30 and it's 100 degrees, so we're not going to be doing any hiking here, but there are some petroglyphs I think we'll pop out of the car to see. Wow, look at all those cacti. My goodness. Seems like a lot of cacti. So it looks like the restrooms are over there. And there's the visitor center. Heat safety forecast over 100 degrees. Finish any hike by 10 a.m. That's when we did finish our hike this morning. So we did pretty good. Wow, look at all those. That is really cool. So many saguaros. Looks like there's a nice viewing area. There's the visitor center. Wow. Oh, some javelina. There are javelina here. Shows the progression of the saguaros. Wow, so many. Well, it's very hot. Time. Oh, there went a little bird. Very hot. Time to go inside. Find Amy. This is a good sign that tells you what you could do here. We decided on the Baja Scenic Loop Drive and the Signal Hill Trail because it's only 0.3 miles and it's very hot out. screen opens up to the desert. You gotta watch the movie at the Red Hills Visitor Center. This is the surprise in the end.
Saguaro. So that is because they will always be photosynthesizing. They're always going to be taking in moisture. They want that sun, but they also have very shallow root systems that can soak up any water very, very quickly. And a lot of the plants have the root system go very far out and not very deep. So like our saguaro here, the roots go about 4 inches deep, but they go out as wide as they are tall. So with those rainy seasons, some of our storms can last 5 minutes, some of them can last an hour. We can have a really rainy afternoon. It's so varied. So the plants have adapted to take in all the water and use it to photosynthesize very quickly, but also they are very waxy. So we'll walk down this way.
Alright, we're in the west half of the park and we're on the Bajada Loop Drive. Just listen to Denise, she's in the background.
I'm driving. We're doing the Bajada Loop Drive. It's a 5-mile dirt road drive, and you should have a high clearance vehicle. But we have the Jeep, and it's like 101 degrees at 2 o'clock, so all we can handle is driving.
We're not getting out.
We're not getting out. We were gonna go see the petroglyphs, but you know, it's gonna be 0.6 miles, and that's too hot at 101. But this looks fun. This road is very cool. Well, it's actually very hot, but in the car in the air conditioning,